Hey friends, Katie here with For the Love of Leftovers. I've got an extra special video for you today. We are doing a couple different things. One, we are at my parents' farm here in Maine, known as Haven Acres, and they have had some calving happen. So we are gonna go check out the newest additions to their farm. But for now, let me show you around the farm and let's go meet the newest additions. But first, let me show you around my parents' house. I love this house so much. It is the reason why we actually all moved up to where we did in Maine. Definitely a location we had never even considered before, but we saw this house. I saw this house on Zillow and sent it to my parents, and they, of course, fell in love and moved up here, and we just moved with them. And they have beautiful murals in their house from a local artist that had made these years prior. This house is from the late 1800s. It is just a farmhouse through and through. Tons of beautiful land, beautiful landscaping. My mom has always been a gardener, and she's the one that I go to for any advice when it comes to gardening, to planting, to flowers. Any of it, all of it, that's where we go. This is also the farm that we go to get all of our laying hens, not laying hens, our like poultry birds, our meat birds, our pigs, any beef, everything that we feed our family meat-wise. 99% of it is coming from my parents here on their farm at Haven Acres, and it is just such a blessing to be able to, feed our family with a dream that my parents have, and, feeding their dreams as well. Hi, Momos. Hi, Boss Man. Hi, Boss Man. Oh, look. Oh, my goodness. Nutelli. So cute. Oh, buddy, stay right here. I see she's got a baby.
She pooped out.
She pooped it out, yeah.
She pooped it out.
Oh my goodness.
That cat. There's trolls.
There's no trolls. She was eating after birth. Wow. Well, I bet they're going to want to jump on a trampoline.
Good job. Good job, Ray Baby.
Is that Ray Baby's first?
It's been like looking like a milk cow for about a week. Boss man, good boy.
Boss man. Boy.
Yeah.
No.
But you stay right there, okay? Boss man's a good boy, but he's not usually have this much company.
He protects this entire herd. So if he thinks that there's a problem, he's going to try to protect them, okay?
Good boy, boss man.
Like Buzz Lightyear protecting the universe.
We need to give them some
This
space.
is his universe.
Pretty crazy that big bull is actually afraid of people.
Yeah.
That would blow my mind. The size of cows and whatnot, that they're so skittish around.
He's a big baby. I was thinking pet him all up all the time, but she was
Oh. Fall back down.
Hi, Francis.
You fall back down.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Pappy. When did you find that baby?
Well, Gigi and Pappy came up here and
I think it's funny that Nutelli's just like
Oh yeah.
laying there, just
right in the middle of everything.
Hey, Mommy.
Hi, Nutella. You know your name?
Mom.
That's the one that Fisher named.
Yeah.
She definitely likes Dad. Dad's her. Well, he spends a lot of time with her.
Now the stairs.
Look,
I'm all friendly
standing
with her,
up.
Except I can't pet her and Flashy, forget about it. That's a stinking thing.
Oh, look, standing up.
You gotta make sure that she nurses. She's trying.
She's trying.
Oh wow. You're calling her poop poop.
You just ran away again.
Wow.
I love that we get to come here and our kids get to experience things like a calving happening and, you know, just right down the road. I will never take it for granted, I don't think. Just to have my parents and have this farm and all the farming, homesteading opportunities available to us and to my kids as they grow up. There's so much that you can just learn and experience from being on a farm, and it's really just a true joy and a back-breaking labor, and definitely a labor of love. So last video we talked about building a prepper pantry from the ground up, and so it's mid-May here in Maine 2025, and we are going to get our garden going. I decided not to do any seeds this year, like starting them myself, because last year was literally a wash planting wise. I planted grew so many seeds, like plants from seed, and they all just got washed away. So we're scaling back quite a bit this year. That's the intention. So I'm going to show you what I got at the garden center today, and then we're going to get it planted in the garden here in just a minute. So to start us off, I do have some cucumbers. I have a few varieties of cucumbers. These ones are Market More, so we should get quite a bit. And then I did get some green zucchini. Like, if you guys are gardeners, you know, usually you can't give zucchini away. Well, last year my zucchini plant didn't even produce one zucchini. It died. That tells you how like waterlogged we were. Then I did get some sriracha pepper plants, and this is a little bit of a risk because, again, we're kind of like mid-May, so we're not fully past our chance of a frost, but I'm gonna go for it. We've got eggplant here. I've got a bunch of paste type tomatoes, Amish paste, and then I can't remember what the other one was. Let's see if I can find it. I've got another cucumber here. That one is quite grown already. This one, oh, this is the other San Marzano. Marzano, another paste type of tomato. Here we've got Brussels sprouts, which are my favorite. Then we've got some Trailblazer peppers, trying to even out the heat and sweet here. I accidentally got 2 things of broccoli, so hopefully one of these at least takes off for me. Got more Amish paste, more Trailblazer, and then I've got some jalapeno peppers here. We love jalapenos, and those are really good in salsa. And then butternut, which is my favorite of the squashes. So we've got that. So those are the ones that we're going to get planted in the ground today out here in our big garden that definitely needs some love and some care. We're going to pick the best 3 of our raised garden beds, get those kind of cleaned out, get things planted, and kind of like slowly move forward and see if maybe I have time and space to get other things planted as well. And then I've got green stalks up on the porch that we're also going to get planted today, with more herbs and flowers, things like that I would use either photography wise or like close kitchen wise. Those are going to be up on the porch so that I can see them and grab them and get them really quickly. All right, here's one of our raised beds that we're going to be fixing up here. As you can see, everything's really overgrown. Weeds are starting to pop up. So I wanted to give you a good before view of this. I've started digging out over here, popping our tomatoes in. So what I'm doing is I am putting the tomatoes pretty close to this this fencing that I have, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this one. So I've dug a hole here, and now I'm going to dump out my tomato plant, and I'm going to put her on her side. Tomatoes are super hardy, super prolific, easy growers. Like, you really can't hurt a tomato. So I have her on her side so that the roots shoot out a bit more. Okay, we're gonna kind of prop her up a little bit like that. Get her nice and close to this so that I can give her some support as she grows. And then once we get all of our tomatoes planted in here, we're gonna cover the bed back up with straw, and that's gonna help to keep in the moisture as the days start getting hotter. All right, with the help of some little hands, we got that all taken care of on this side. We've got 8 tomato plants, so I've got 4 of those San Marzano ones there, 2 of the Amish paste, and then 2 more San the other ones. So these ones came in the 6-pack, 4 down there, 2 right here are Amish paste. This is definitely going to help as a reminder to me because I don't have enough labels for all of them. Okay, we're looking pretty good over here. We've got all of our broccoli on this side closest to me. And then over here we have all of our tomatoes. So the theory is the tomatoes will grow up and provide some shade to the broccoli for the afternoon sun. Over here I've got eggplants on this half, and then over here on this half we have broccoli, and then on this side we have lots of cucumbers. Again, the concept or the theory being that the cucumbers are going to grow up, hang on this fencing here, and provide shade to the Brussels sprouts. Those are Brussels sprouts on that side. They'll provide shade to the Brussels sprouts. And then over here we have our friendly hot peppers. So all of our peppers are growing right there. And so this fencing will provide some stability for them, and we may have to stake a couple of them as they grow. But putting them all nice and close so that they're holding hands, so that they're happy. Last thing on the list for out here for tonight, I think, my son is putting some Pro Mix top dressing, these ones that we just got planted. So I think last thing we're gonna do out here for tonight is try and get this bed cleaned up. So this one we need to clean up a bit. This bed we need to clean up a bit, and then get butternut squash and zucchini in this bed, and that'll be all that we do out here for tonight. Top dress it. Actually, this one won't need top dressing because it's pretty much 100% Pro Mix at this point. So we're gonna get the butternut squash and zucchini planted in this one, and then go get the hose, get everything deep watered, and probably call it a night for out here. I might throw some seeds down in front of the tomatoes. We have a little bit of space for some seeds. So I think I'm going to try and see what I have for seeds. I don't know as if I have any radishes or anything like that. So yeah, we'll kind of just see what we got. Okay, bugs are getting thick out here, so we are wrapping up for the evening. But I'll show you what we got, how we finished. This is the after of that bed, which took a really long time because the grass in here had crazy roots. We did find 2 onions, so I just put those right back in. 2 little onions. And then these here are the zucchini. I meant to space them out more and didn't. And then these 6 right here are all butternut squash. So those have plenty of space. But yeah, all right, so that one's done. I don't think I'll plant anything else in this bed, just because if all these things do take off, well, then it's going to be crowded as it is. And then over here, we are laying down some plastic. We gotta get a little more to put in between the walkway here, but this garden just got like crazy overgrown. So we are trying to kill some stuff off. So the idea is that the clear plastic will create like a hot box underneath, and it will encourage things to grow, but then it'll kill it because it's so hot under there. So hopefully we can get this back to a nice batch of soil, because this was the original garden when we moved in, and it had great soil until we started purchasing from some places that clearly had seed in it, because now it's just tons of weeds. So we are trying to get it all flattened down, but leaving space for the rhubarb. That rhubarb needs to still come up. It's doing rhubarb things, so that won't be too long. I also have a few other patches of rhubarb over here. This here is where I attempted tomatoes last year, and the soil here still looks pretty good. So this might be on my next item, my next place that I weed if we continue on planting more things, will be just in here, because there was a really good amount of pro mix that was put down, good soil. So we'll see about that. And then need to try and kill off this this grass in between. But the biggest thing is we have deer, so we're gonna have to figure out protection for the deer for at least these 3 beds, and if that's all we can do, then that's all we can do. All right, and here are the green stalks. Still need to get some more to fill the other half, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. We have all kinds of these beautiful little flowers. I did plant a bunch of lettuce varieties, kale, a bunch of herbs that we got from the garden center. Beautiful lettuce. This one is mostly lettuce and flowers. It's all lettuce and flowers. Well, this is not the kind of addition I wanted to make to this video, but ever wonder, like, do you ever look at a creator's video or watch a creator's video and be like, oh wow, this is like bouncing all around? Let's just say we do our best to keep everything succinct, but sometimes life is crazy and life bounces us all around. And so that's where this video is. That's the direction of this video. Our life has been absolutely crazy lately. I threw out my back the other day, spreading wood chips around the sand pit and the fire pit and whatnot, and I'll show you that. I did get that task pretty well finished up, but then I threw out my back in the process. So it's been about 4 days of excruciating pain, trips to urgent care, and muscle relaxants and all that, which don't usually touch it. So I'm kind of hobbling around. Very thankful right now that we have freezer meals and that we have lots of leftovers just in the fridge and whatnot, because otherwise, like, I would be in some major trouble right now. We're just so busy last few weeks of school. We've got sports, we've got all kinds of things that we need to do, right? So cooking has been not high on my priority list past few days. And same day that I threw out my back, my middle son, my autistic one, broke both of his arms. he was swinging on the swing set, and the chain broke from the swing, and he fell wrong, and he has 2 buckle fractures in his one in both of his arms, and so he's got some casts on there, and it's just been a lot trying to deal with that, trying to take care of him 24/7 while I can barely move myself because he has already removed the casts. It has not been fun the past few days. So trying to take care of him 24/7 on top of all that has been pretty challenging. I will say one of the things that I'm thankful for is that it's been beautiful. We finally have 70, 80 degree weather. I think it's supposed to hit up in the 80s today. So I'm very thankful for that at least I can sit outside, watch kids play, even though that means the bugs are starting to hatch and come out. And then of course this weekend, once again, we're getting like an inch of rain over the weekend. We have not had a sunny weekend at all for probably close to a month, if not longer. Anyhow, all of that to say, I got some things I need to try and catch up on today as my back will allow. It's like I said, still pretty painful. Sitting down mostly is very painful, but then I get super tired standing up just because my back is like curved into a C position. I can't make it like relax and straighten out. But we have a couple things to do. One of the things I need to do today is get some pork chops that are probably a little bit dry at this point. Get those chopped up and maybe into a slow cooker with some extra liquid and some sauce of some sort so that we can have that tonight for a quick dinner, because we're going to a baseball game at 3:30. That's usually 2 hours. So by the time we get home, everyone's going to be probably cranky and hungry. So I want to make sure that I have something like ready to go. I also need to finish this month's game for the challenge that's in my Facebook group. If you want to check that out, I'll be sure to leave a link below so you can go ahead and check it out. It is going to become a paid membership at some point, so get in there now while it's free, and we have lots of fun games and activities and even prizes to be won. Because I really think that meal planning should be fun, budgeting should be fun, pretty much anything we do in life, let's try and make it as enjoyable as possible, especially with those harder things, because then you're more apt to do them. You're more apt to stick to them. So, let's see. I've got pork there, and then I'm also going to grab a couple packages of our pork sausage. I think I'm going to make meatballs with them because it needs to be used. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. But those are breakfast sausage. Maybe I'll just make patties and just have them cooked up and ready to go. I know my husband's been eating them in the morning. He's been sticking to the whole keto plan. I have not. Because for me, when my back starts flaring up and we have crisis type things happening, let's be real, taking care of myself, eating well, trying to do those new type of things is anything extra is pretty much the last thing I'm thinking of. No makeup, not doing the hair, not trying to do any type of diet or anything. It's not going to get done because I'm not going to stick to it. I know it. Like, I'm in basic survival mode of taking care of my kid 24/7 with his, broken arms, and I would just still just absolutely insane to like say out loud, but taking care of him and trying to move and function without collapsing on the floor. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I'm taking all of these pork chops. They're all boneless pork chops. Like I said, they're pretty dry at this point, but we're not going to waste it. Not going to waste good protein. There's a lot of flavor in here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to work on kind of rehydrating it in a way as best I can and see if we can at least get one more meal out of these, and then we'll call it good. We had some last night, but we're gonna have it one more time tonight. That one's pretty burnt. And just kind of shave off any burnt pieces. Give the super burnt ones to the dogs, they won't mind. I'm just cutting it up to bite-sized pieces. And now I'm just going to add it all to this crock pot. I have a very small crock pot here, one that you would use for like appetizers. Just gonna add that all in. And then I have this orange ginger sauce that we had gotten at one of our grocery hauls. And wipe my hands here. And I'm going to dump probably the majority of the bottle in, and then maybe add some water or some stock with it also, just to get most of this, pork covered. So we're adding more flavor, adding that whole bottle. And I've got about half the bottle filled with water. Whoops. Get that out of there. Just going to mix it around, and that has pretty much all of it submerged. So thankfully I did just remember that I have to make 2 cheesecakes for tomorrow, for pickup for tomorrow. So I do need to get going on that. Thankfully I remembered. It has just been absolutely insane here. I can't stress that enough. So I'm gonna start getting those prepared before I do anything meatball wise. So spoiler alert, we never got to the meatballs. Doing these cheesecakes took way longer and way more energy than I gave myself credit for. And with my back being what it was, doing two cheesecakes was enough for me. You can see me like wincing every time I have to move. And yeah, so we definitely did not get to the meatballs. I ended up pulling a couple of freezer meals from the freezer and using those for the next night and lunch. So I was very grateful for those. Believe me, present Katie is thanking past Katie for doing it. Like, no matter how much pain my back was in after doing a full day of freezer meals, it's been way worse. It has been so much worse this past week. So it's just something that I kind of have to deal with, unfortunately. This is pretty much the story of my life, and hopefully as I work to make healthier decisions and get into shape, then these times of back pain and things like this happening will become less and less. But I will tell you one thing for sure is I will be doing more and more freezer meals, because it was honestly just such a lifesaver to still be able to have those homemade meals and just pull them out from the freezer. If you haven't yet checked out the link down in the comments, be sure to check out my new Facebook group where I'm sharing exclusive recipes and games and all kinds of fun things, including cash prizes for the games for meal planning, because I think everything that we are able to make fun should be fun. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye for now.